You are live on 98.9 Northwest FM. This is the Tuesday Review. I'm Nathan, as always, joined by James. How you going, James? What's made you happy in the last week?
We just had a long weekend, so I mean that was pretty good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Also joined by Callum. What's made you happy in the last week?
Went to JB Hi-Fi today, and due to a ticketing error, I managed to get in the heat of the night limited edition imprint deluxe thing for $39.
4K.
Nice.
4K. Yeah. Comes with
Oh,
a little hardback book that has photos and a little essay and stuff.
very nice.
Yeah, so that was $39. So thanks JB.
They're not always good about that. I've had that happen to
Yeah.
me before, and they've just
They always try to
it.
worm their way out.
Yeah. And then you just have to show them the retail code and be like, come on, guys.
Look, to be fair, I wasn't even paying attention. It's possible there were others that had the proper price, 80 something, but
Yeah, but no, you pick the first one up off the shelf and it says
Yeah.
$40.
Yeah.
That's what you expect to pay.
Unfortunately, they didn't have Ghostbusters on 4K, so I don't know if that's a limited supply in Australia or what. We have Ghostbusters too, but I'm presuming you might have to import it.
I don't know.
I mean, because the one I went to has way more
Yeah, it's a
4Ks
bigger
than
one.
our
Yeah.
local, and it was still not there. I asked the guy, and he's like, I don't think so.
look it
Okay.
up online, see if
Yeah.
any stores around us have it on.
Yeah. As for me, what's made me happy is the announcement of another Simpsons movie.
Look, it's what made you happy, not what made me
Yeah, I
happy. So I'm not going to say anything.
Look, I really enjoyed the first Simpsons movie. It was
It's
under
not
the
good.
it was under the dome before Under the Dome. All
It's
right,
not good.
it is good. That's fine.
The
We're allowed
first Simpsons movie came out already when The Simpsons was getting bad, and that was almost 20 years ago. It's like now it's just sad.
How bad could it be?
Well, I think really bad.
I guess,
Especially considering Marge can't even speak.
that is sad. But hopefully,
It's just at this point, it's a joke.
Just
Yeah.
recast, please.
they should recast.
They should
it, but-
they should have ended it 20 years ago.
No.
Anyway, that's what made Nathan happy, so he can have that. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not going to take that from. When the movie comes out, you guys can go see it, and I'll go watch a real movie.
All right, Scrooge. All right.
You're Mr. Burns.
Yeah, Mr. Burns.
More
yeah.
like comic book nerd. Come on.
Yeah, yeah, more like
worst
Worst-
Simpsons movie ever.
Anyway, all right, we'll get straight into it. We have a couple of announcements and things to talk about. PAX is coming up.
Yeah.
Again, a reminder for our listeners, if you're coming to PAX in Melbourne, message us, say hi,
And we'll run away.
and we'll-
PAX is October the 10th, 11th, and 12th.
Yeah,
So
so
we'll
it's
be
not
there.
this weekend, but next weekend.
Mm-hmm. We'll be there, and then we'll have some of our coverage up on YouTube and some video interviews and the like. So yeah, keep an eye out for that.
Yeah. The Xbox is going to be there. I think we said that last week. I'm
Yeah.
actually quite
Nintendo,
excited to
There
see.
are quite a lot of vendors are going to be
Yeah.
there this year.
I haven't actually. Yeah, I should actually look it up because they announced everything, but I haven't.
Maybe we'll go into it more depth next week when we're a bit closer and we can.
Yeah,
kind
good
of.
idea.
We'll go in a bit more detail.
Mm.
In other news, we also have the resident screening for Monster Fest. As our
Yes.
regular listeners would know, we're deeply invested in this film
Yeah,
at this point.
If you're, have you listened to the Matt Myram saga of the Tuesday Review episodes? Yeah, he's got his first, I guess, public
Very exciting.
screening at Monster Fest.
It's classified as the world premiere.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so you
The
get to come.
public premiere. Yeah,
It's,
yeah.
yeah, you get to come to the world premiere.
Yeah.
As well.
Also,
Jay.
this is
'Cause
like the
I think
well,
the
unfinished.
VFX weren't finished, so this is kind of like the most complete. I guess
Yeah.
the one we saw, it wasn't quite finished.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
then
And then he did a lot of work
when I
on
saw
the,
it, then that's the final version.
Yeah,
when
so-
you guys watch it again.
Yeah, so it's going to be good to see it on the big screen with all the new effects and stuff.
Yeah.
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 And
So
I'm assuming there'll be a Q&A
yeah, there
and
is.
so on.
I hope so.
That'll
We'll-
be great to see as
We'll
well.
be
There is
hassling.
afterwards,
We'll be
yeah.
hassling people anyway.
So we'll talk to Matt and hopefully maybe we can record that and put it on our YouTube. But
Yeah, for
we'll
sure.
see what Nova says and
Yeah.
whatnot. So that's as part of Monster Fest, and that is at Cinema Nova on October 5th at 2:15 p.m. So if there's still tickets available,
come
get
and
one.
come and say hi.
Yeah, come
We'll be
say hi.
there.
Let us know. We'll be around.
Eating popcorn, laughing
We'll-
real hard. at
Yeah,
every
we'll
joke.
be there laughing obnoxiously at
Yeah,
all the jokes.
laughing before jokes
Yeah,
happen, as
yeah.
we know.
Yeah, that's it. We'll be sitting in each corner, just going,
Yeah, where audience plants.
yeah. Yeah, so come and see that. I reckon that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that'll be good.
And then we also have coming up Ross Purdy, friend of the show, has a live comedy show
Yeah.
based on the works of, or incorporating the works of David Lynch in some capacity.
Yeah. So
I've tried not to look into it too much because I don't want to be spoiled, or I like to go in surprised. But it's Ross Purdy at the Black Lodge or something like that.
So as part of Melbourne Fringe Festival, a friend of the show, Ross, is performing his new show. Ross Purdy performs at the Black Lodge one night only for 25 years. So that's a sort of David Lynchian joke. Yeah, and so if you've ever seen him before, he's very absurd, very crazy, like Eric Andre, Tim and Eric, kind of wacky. But there's like an undercurrent of satire and commentary, especially commentary on the Australian entertainment scene. And so he's doing a kind of tribute show to David Lynch, who unfortunately passed away earlier this year. And so that'll be a lot of fun. Come check that out. That is running as part of Fringe from October 7th to October 12th. So you got a few days there. You can go check it out. Message us if you're going to go, and maybe we'll see you there.
Maybe we'll let you say hi to Ross, but you can't look him in the eyes.
He's a big star. So you can't. There's a certain rules.
Yeah,
he's like Tom Cruise. He's the Tom Cruise of Melbourne comedy.
Would he appreciate
Ross,
that?
I know Ross listens to the show. Put that on the poster. Ross Purdy, the Tom Cruise of the Melbourne comedy.
James
scene.
Yusipovich.
Roger Ebert. Roger Ebert in brackets deceased from beyond the grave. Via Ouija board. So all this silliness, this is definitely, if you love silliness and you love David Lynch, it'll be a good time. So come check out Ross Purdy at Melbourne Fringe. In a couple of weeks' time, that'll be good.
Yeah. In kind of, I guess, getting ready for that, I started watching or rewatching some David Lynch films. I'd never seen Lost Highway, so I started with that. It wasn't for me.
So this is weird, right? Because
no, it was for me, but it also wasn't for me. It's more the fact that I didn't quite get everything about the film.
Yeah, but I mean that's all David Lynch movies. Yeah. But this is kind of weird because we're all massive David Lynch heads, and we always talk about his movies. But there are a couple that you guys still haven't seen. There are a couple that you've only seen recently. And so for me, who, has seen them all multiple times since like I was a teenager, it's strange because I saw Lost Highway first, not first in all of David Lynch, but like I saw that and then I saw Mulholland Drive. Oh, yeah. So to me, Lost Highway was like the proto Mulholland Drive.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, Lost Highway rocks. And then I watched Mulholland Drive. I'm like, he's just doing the same thing again. Whereas you, it's the other way around.
Which came out first chronologically?
Lost Highway.
Okay.
No, I liked Lost Highway. I think it lost me a little bit in, I guess, the connection between the two lead characters. I don't know. I didn't quite follow it.
That's the whole thing. It's like, you remember we were talking about, I can't remember what it was. It was like Alex Garland's Men or something. And I'm like, there were weird movies where you're like, yeah, it's weird and I don't know what's going on, but this sucks and it's boring. Whereas Lynch, all Lynch movies, is like even the weirdest ones where you're like, I have no idea what's going on.
Oh, it's still a vibe.
Like captivating and you're like, whoa, this is awesome.
Please, listeners, and potentially James, correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe that one time Lynch was doing a talk about filmmaking, storytelling, that type of thing, and he said that the purpose of his films are to provoke emotion more so than
he definitely
to tell a story that you think you might understand A to B. So it's like whenever you're watching some of these movies, even it's like Mulholland Drive, because that's a notoriously difficult movie where the narrative kind of breaks down at a certain point. The point is not to focus on trying to understand what's going on. It's more about how it makes you feel when you're watching
it.
Yeah, so I got that, but I actually enjoyed and I followed Mulholland Drive a bit more than I did Lost Highway.
You think you're better than me?
Yeah. You're a goddamn liar. No one understands that movie.
But I enjoyed Mulholland Drive a lot more than Lost Highway.
Yeah, Mulholland Drive is one that grew on me because the first time I saw it, I was like, this is just Lost Highway again. Yeah. This is not, and then I saw it again. I was like, wow, this is awesome. And then I saw it again. I'm like, this is amazing.
The only two Lynch movies I haven't seen, as far as I'm aware, Inland Empire.
That's the only one I don't like.
And I haven't seen The Straight Story.
Straight Story is really good. Have you seen Elephant Man?
Years ago.
Okay.
Years, like
You saw Eraserhead?
Yes, unfortunately, I've suffered through it.
What? You don't like Eraserhead?
Eraserhead is... So David Lynch characterizes it as his most spiritual film. And I understand that because it's essentially a descent into hell.
Yeah, and it's amazing.
Like, again, I'm not hating on it. Like, it's especially since it was, what, his first film?
His first feature, yeah.
It's incredibly well constructed, but it makes me feel awful when I watch it.
Oh, yeah, but it's amazing.
And it's like, I love that classic David Lynch interview where someone's like, can you explain it?
Yeah,
No.
he's like, it's my most spiritual film. Can you
It's like,
elaborate? It's like, no.
And there's like, I don't talk about the baby.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, that's kind of the thing about Lynch is not only are his movies very opaque, is that the word?
Yeah.
But it's like he refuses to explain them. And that kind of adds to their mystery.
Yeah.
But I think there are so many, obviously there are so many theories and people online and essays and videos about them that you can kind of break them down and see. But at the end of the day, like I said, if you don't understand them, they're still so incredible, and like it's the feeling you get out of them.
Yeah.
Not necessarily like the logical understanding.
Yeah, so I appreciate that about Lost Highway. Like, I appreciated Lost Highway. I just wish I understood the plot a bit better. But I also understand that's not also what David wants me to.
But also, it also will now reward repeat viewings, especially if you kind of go down the rabbit hole of the essays.
Watch it in reverse though.
The videos that go in depth and what this means, and then watch it again.
Because I noticed there were certain time elements at play in Lost Highway as well.
Yeah.
With kind of like people being alive and then dead and then alive, and you kind of just like, it's a puzzle I'd have to maybe solve a little bit.
Yeah.
With what's his name, Dick Laurent.
Dick Laurent is dead.
Dick Laurent is dead, and there's actually, you know what? This scene added a whole other star when the character of Dick Laurent pulls up a guy for tailgating and like berates him on the side of the road. Do you remember that scene?
I don't remember.
It is amazing.
Yeah.
So the character of Dick Laurent is like, they're driving in a limo, whatever, and a guy starts tailgating him, so they pull him over, and then like Dick Laurent shoves him, and they say like, tailgating is dangerous, and it's like a full on like, he's like, you're screaming at him like road lessons and road etiquette for like a good minute. And it was amazing.
Classic.
I'll link you the scene. It's like one of the most famous scenes of the film. You'd have to rewatch it.
I've got I've got them all on Blu-ray and 4K and DVD, but yeah, I was like, I want to rewatch them all, but what's it called? The one with Nicolas Cage.
Wild at Heart.
Wild at Heart. Yeah,
That's awesome.
I'm waiting for that to be re-released because like Criterion re-released like all his other movies, and then he passed away. So I'm assuming he was working on that one. Yeah. So hopefully we get that one soon, and then I'll go back and watch it.
Yeah. So next up my list is Inland Empire, which I was gonna watch today, and I'm like, oh, but
it's like 3 hours long.
I was gonna say it's a good 3 hours.
That's
I was like, okay, maybe later.
That's the only one where I'm like, all right.
That was his last released feature.
Yeah. I'm like that's I've had enough. Like I'll defend. I love all these other movies. I'll defend them all. But Jesus, Inland Empire. But that's one I will watch again, and I bought it when they re-released it. Criterion or whatever. So,
but I don't know. Like the whole speculation with, obviously he's confirmed Lost Highway as part of the Twin Peaks verse, but I also find there's also a lot in Mulholland Drive that could be.
Mulholland Drive started.
I was interesting you say that.
It started as Audrey
going to Hollywood.
Goes to Hollywood.
Yeah, it started as a backdoor pilot thing, but
and then when it wasn't that, it was still just supposed to be a pilot with Naomi Watts. And then he expanded into a movie.
But I was reading, it's funny. Sorry, go on. Continue.
No, you go on.
Oh, it was a funny anecdote I read about Mulholland Drive yesterday. Was when he got the green light to make the film, he had no idea. He had no stories, nothing. So he just went and meditated, and then it all just came to him. And he's like, I got it now.
Yeah. He got a download.
Yeah.
So I feel like I would argue that, for me, watching the movie, I guess without going down all the rabbit holes, it still feels like it could be a Twin Peaks movie because you've still got like the tulpas and the lodge spirits, for better use of better term.
Yeah.
and like the little puzzle box and
Like, it's because he can't help it.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
He has this
all
internal-
these movies,
he has this internal
have this
world.
spiritual connection. Like, I think one of the reasons Blue Velvet is probably my favorite Lynch film is because it's Twin Peaks before Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
Like, it's the closest one until Fire Walk With Me, which is kind of its own thing separate to the series. Which, I mean, my favorite David Lynch thing of all time is this Twin Peaks, the first 2 seasons. I love Fire Walk With Me, but it's like almost
And the
a different
the
beast.
third season's in its own separate.
That's its own thing.
It's its own separate thing that
and
deserves its own respect, but we also hate it.
Yeah,
and we love it.
And even Fire Walk With Me is like its own little thing. So, yeah, I mean,
Yeah, so look, he keeps it interesting, I guess. But
yeah, you can't say it's not interesting.
Never forget, Netflix wouldn't help him. Never forget. Never forgive.
Yeah,
yeah. Anyway,
yeah.
so
There was always rumors or whatever that he was making a new movie, making a new series, and just nothing.
yeah, so I've been brushing up on my Lynch movies in anticipation, so I don't sit there in the audience at
know what
Ross's
you
show
gotta do,
being
don't
like,
you?
"Is that
Yeah.
a reference, James? Is
Yeah.
that
Depending on
really
how deep,
obnoxious?"
Well, see,
depending on how deep Ross is going,
the thing with
you might
Ross-
have to read the books as well.
the thing is with Ross's shows is even his Lynch shows, his original this is an original show, but his
original
shows
material.
not
Yeah.
they're always multi-layered. So he has so many jokes like packed on top of each other that like
Yeah, I'll appreciate everything at some level.
you can, but a lot of
Yeah.
it just goes over the audience's heads.
Yeah.
So you really have to. He has a lot of wordplay and a lot of references and stuff. So add Lynch on top of that, it's going to be. Nuts.
Can we get you to completely derail the show? We're going to find you, if we can. Help us out, listeners. Like a fake forehead that we can put on top. So you can be James Was Never Cool and you have the big James forehead from Twin Peaks.
For the meme, yeah.
Yeah. I think we need to do like a big prosthetic head.
I'll wear a motorcycle jacket
Yeah.
and sunglasses.
James Was Never Cool.
You're like a Frankenstein forehead
Yeah.
and paint
Yeah.
it skin color. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll move on. But
That's going deep for the Twin Peaks fans.
I guess we'll get started. We're anticipating some guests hopefully soon, but before they get here,
Yeah.
we'll go into what James has been watching. James saw the new Spinal Tap.
Yes, so obviously goes without saying the original This is Spinal Tap, the 1984 mockumentary comedy is legendary, one of the all-time great comedies of all time. I love it, it's amazing. And they made the sequel, Spinal Tap II, The End Continues, with the same cast.
I appreciate
And-
this as a concept because it always happens with real life bands too.
Yeah.
The fact that they come back as old men being like, we're going on one last tour, like Motley Crue.
Yeah,
and
out of all the legacy sequels that take 40 years to come to the screen, it's like this one I guess makes sense because it's like, you've got
it's the industry,
yeah, you've got like peak Rolling Stones and now you've got old man Rolling Stones
Yeah.
and they're still touring and there's like
It does happen,
it's
yeah.
realistic.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, making a sequel to any movie, let alone a legendary 80s comedy after all this time, it's kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah.
And trailer looked fine. I was like, yeah, it'd probably be okay. I heard it was okay. And I was like, you know what? I should go and see it. Like, I feel like this is not a special occasion, but it's like I want to see it on the big screen. I want to I want to experience it properly. So I rewatched the first one, which is again still just so amazing. And then I went to the cinema and I watched the second one. And yeah, you're never going to live up to the original. But goddamn, the whole time I just had a big dumb smile on my face. And I was like, this is funny. The three guys have still got it. They're still just so good at like improv and like bringing you into this world. And the music is still so good. I mean, that's one of the reasons why Spinal Tap works is because the music is like they're legit musicians.
Yeah.
They're not just comedians pretending. Like their songs are legit like good.
Yeah. And that's what confused people at the time too.
Yeah.
Is it a real band?
It's a quote unquote fake band, but technically
is it real or is it fake? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Nathan Fielder method.
Yeah, it's
almost. Yeah. I mean, they've had concerts around, and it's cool too because they've a few times over the years since the original came out, they've come back, to do special appearances or whatever. And so there's some of that footage in the sequel. So it doesn't feel like Happy Gilmore 2, where it's like 30 years later, and the only footage they have is from the first movie.
Yeah,
and then they have to CGI some awkward, like, earlier footage.
They made a Happy Gilmore sequel.
Oh, I must have. That must have been a nightmare.
I think you dreamt that.
Yeah, I must have. Yeah.
Anyway, sorry, James.
Why would they do something so awful? But yeah, it's not like that where it's like so, obviously like it's been 30, 40 years and nothing's happened, and now these guys are coming out of storage. It does feel like they've kind of been around, even though we might not have been, actively paying attention to every time they appeared over the last 40 years. It does feel like when they make this, it's like there's still a living world, because they are, like I said, they were, even though they're playing characters,
but they've still
like
done things.
They were real kind of musicians, and the music exists, and you can listen to it, and they had appearances and they had concerts.
It adds an element of it's bigger than just a film.
Exactly, yeah. So, watching the movie, I was like, this is really fun and funny. It's never going to be as great as the original, but I really liked it. I think it's definitely worth checking out. It's not a big screen movie in terms of great visuals and whatever, but I mean, so you can probably wait for something like streaming. But I think it's definitely worth watching. It's not one of those legacy sequels where you're eye-rolling and you're like, this is just sad, they're old men now. I mean, it kind of works because that's the whole joke, is that they're these old rock stars. And unlike
it's on the nose, but it's also, again, as we said, it's on the nose and they're old men, but that's the point. Because
that's also the point. Yeah, they're aging rock stars.
They're satirizing that.
Yeah, they broke up, they got back together again, they broke up, they got back together again, they broke up, and now this movie is about them getting back together again. And yeah, it's like the old, any old band, like, getting back together and
that's the
doing
point.
one last tour or
Oasis.
whatever. And I mean, it's they're not that old, but
they're not quite that old yet.
Yeah.
But still,
maybe closer to something like Motley Crue, even though their ages might not be that different.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably closer to like Rolling Stones or because they were like, the whole thing was like they were like a late 60s, 70s band, and then the movie came out in the 80s when they were already kind of a bit washed up, and now this is 40 years later. But it's got some great cameos, and unlike some other sequels, some nightmarish Adam Sandler vehicles that may or may not have existed, the cameos are actually well integrated into the film and make sense because it's a mockumentary. So I won't spoil them. Maybe some of them are in the trailer, but they're really good. I like those moments. Big smile on my face. And not in a cheap way of like, oh, it's that guy. It's like, oh, this is fun. Like, it's fun to watch a real rock star interact with these kind of fake rock stars.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Spinal Tap II, definitely check it out. I recommend it.
Very good. Look, it's a shame Alan's not here tonight because we saw One Battle After Another, which we'll be talking about next week.
Next week, yeah.
Which was Alan's first, I guess,
Paul Thomas Anderson film. The Master is still his best.
Paul Thomas Anderson. Last 3 films.
The Master is still his best, is all I'm saying.
Oh, The Master. I thought you said the last 3 films were his best. I was like, hang on.
No, I was just interjecting with my own opinions.
Okay, no, so I just misunderstood because you said it so quickly.
Anyway, so we thought we would, I guess, go into some of one of his other classics on the night. So we also rewatched and Alan watched for the first time Punch Drunk Love.
It's interesting
talking about Adam Sandler.
Well, it's interesting having a friend like Alan who hasn't seen, like, some movies he's seen, a lot of movies he hasn't seen, and some he knows of via references in The Simpsons or Family Guy or something like that. It's like, but he's never seen a Paul Thomas Anderson film, which for people like us, that's like heresy.
Yeah, but that doesn't surprise me because he's not. Yeah, I mean, there's so many directors and films he's not aware of that Paul Thomas Anderson wouldn't be high on my list of like, oh yeah, Alan would be at least aware of that,
Yeah.
Like, so I understand.
But yeah, so it's nice to be able to show people these films and then see how they feel about them because,
Because, like, this is one where, like, Alan, I'm pretty sure he's seen Uncut Gems, so he knows Adam Sandler can do the dramatic role. But I'm like, this is kind of his first big dramatic role.
Yeah.
And
Paul Thomas Anderson knew how to utilize.
And I did some reading on this, and I love the fact that he basically wrote the movie for Adam Sandler. Like, he wrote that character for Adam Sandler because he was obsessed with Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
and his movies at that point. And he's like, I want the yelling. He wants the
he knew because like
he knew what he wanted.
Adam Sandler's whole like comedic persona was like the Happy Gilmore, like the yelling and like the crazy and the gibberish. And Paul Thomas Anderson is
I
like,
can
I'm
do
going
that in
to
a dramedy.
utilize that in this really dramatic and anxiety kind of inducing way,
and
relatable kind of.
I
way.
hadn't seen this movie in a little while, and we put on the Criterion disc because it's one you have to have on physical media. People,
100%.
And Alan had never seen it. I'm like, look, it's a comedy, but it's an uncomfortable comedy. It's cringy.
Like it's like romance drama, but it's like
Nathan read out something really fascinating that made me rethink about the way I think about Punch Drunk Love. Is he read that Roger Ebert's reaction was it's a deconstruction of the Adam Sandler comedy. So it's an Adam Sandler comedy where basically everything is played straight. So it's hilarious, but Sandler's performance is completely straight. Yeah, he doesn't laugh in the film. You know what I mean? He's just a guy suffering at the hands of his sisters for most of the film.
It's not broad like Billy Madison.
And
it's not. There's not a concept.
But I thought that was an interesting way to characterize it.
Yeah,
is that you could very easily see this same premise as a Billy Madison production.
Yeah,
because it has everything you might find in like your classic Adam Sandler comedy with the yogurts. You know what I mean? Like your meet cute with the friend. No, but the dynamic of the sisters bullying him.
But the yogurts is the least fictitious part of the movie because that happened in real life.
It's a real thing, yeah.
And Paul Thomas Anderson had to get permission from the Healthy Choice Company to do this because it was a real thing that happened.
Yeah.
And with a real brand. The same brand actually happened. They actually legitimately happened in real life.
Yeah.
That competition and someone abusing the system to get 1 million points.
Yeah.
But anyway, the movie is also, I guess... I don't know. Look, I don't know. No, I haven't watched all the movies, but it feels to me probably one of the first mainstream cinema adaptations of like someone either high functioning autism or really anxiety ridden kind of crippled individual. There's elements of
both.
Elements of both. And like obviously the man struggles and
so much.
He has some social issues going on, and it's kind of just like it's a comedy dealing with those issues that aren't played for laughs in a mean way.
Yeah.
Like he's not the butt of the joke.
Yeah, when he destroys the bathroom and he keeps denying it, it's like some of the most cringe, like Nathan Fielder.
When he destroys the sliding doors.
Yeah, when he destroys the glass in the house.
So cringe, yeah.
And then they just don't talk about it.
Yeah.
And just like even the fact where he asks his brother-in-law, can you find me someone to talk to, like a therapist?
Yeah.
Don't talk to anyone. Yeah, I won't. And then his sister's immediately like, did you ask my husband about a therapist? And he's like, no. You're thinking, but during that moment, it's so tense because like, is he going to flip out?
Yeah.
Like, what's going to happen here? And he doesn't. But like,
yeah,
it's so uncomfortable. And Alan's generally not a fan of that kind of humor, so
cringe.
I forgot how cringy it was.
If you have time, I would say revisit some of his films before you see One Bad Laugh Another. Because talking about Punch Drunk Love, it's like the characters are kind of deep. And like I said, the one criticism some people are having about this film is that they feel like the characters weren't fleshed out enough. So it's like if you revisit a few of his movies, you might be able to better pick it up.
Oh yeah, but I mean, I love PTA. I've seen all these films many times, and we'll talk about it next week because it's a larger discussion. But yeah, I mean, his movies are sort of known for that more deep dive into sort of the character. So it'll be interesting to see One Battle After Another, and tune in next week because that'll be a bigger discussion about that, and that'll be a good time. I'm excited to see that.
I hope it makes its money back because he doesn't have a great track record, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately, when you make real movies, a lot of people don't go to see them because they don't want real movies.
Also,
they want popcorn.
He doesn't his movies aren't super widely released either.
Well, yeah, I mean,
this is the first one that I can think of. Like Licorice Pizza, for example, as far as I'm aware, didn't get massive screenings at all of your local Hoyts or Village cinemas. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, well, they're really pushing One Battle.
Yeah.
So hopefully he'll break even so he can continue making movies, I guess.
Well, I mean,
he won't stop, but you know what I mean.
Yeah. Like I think he's got enough capital to sort of.
The only thing is, this is his most expensive movie to date, right? I think it had like
I
100.
wouldn't be surprised.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Mm.
And is Leo enough to recoup his money?
We'll see.
Well, I
But-
mean, that's probably one of the only reasons why this would get a sort of slightly bigger audience
Yeah.
is because the name of Leo.
I also read that people think of him more in the same way that people used to think of Woody Allen, where it's like it's not so much about the box office returns, it's more about the actors want to get their Oscars. Do you know what I mean? So it's like people would work with Woody because chances are they'd win it
Well, yeah, you
before
wanna
his fall
do-
from grace. They'd receive their Academy Awards. It was the same with PTA, where it's like if you're going to sign up to be on one of his pictures, chances are you're not doing it for the
Yeah,
massive.
You're getting the
back end.
artistic cred.
That's why, I mean, that's why we've talked about before. It's like actors do like the Marvel movie, so then they get a big paycheck, and then they do like the real movie with Scorsese or whoever it may be.
No one expects to get a massive payday when they'll go to work for Wes Anderson.
Exactly.
Yeah,
You do that for the
I guess
art.
the only one who walks both worlds is Nolan.
He gets so many.
Yeah.
Wes Anderson gets so many famous people in his movies. You think they're all working for their regular wage?
No.
No way. Because everyone wants to work with him. Everyone wants to be in one of his movies. So
Yeah.
I mean that's always been the sort of thing. The old Scorsese, one for you, one for me,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
All right, we might go to a very quick break, and we'll be back with more right after these quick messages. You are back live on 98.9 Northwest FM. This is the Tuesday Review. Continuing on, so I guess we watched some Paul Thomas Anderson movies, and
Yeah,
Had a
tune in
good
next
time.
week for the bigger discussion on One Barrel After Another and Paul Thomas Anderson in general.
Yeah.
Oh, can I quickly mention something? Because it's kind of relevant or newish.
yeah.
I finally got round to watching season 1 of Peacemaker.
Yes,
It's really good.
I've seen like the first 2 episodes.
And so season 2 of Peacemaker is sort of ending in the next couple of weeks. So I've just started season 2. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah, I
John
think it's...
Cena really. So can I interject again? Sorry, boys, with an interesting anecdote about Peacemaker season 2.
Of course.
James Gunn wasn't aware of how much John Cena had grown as an actor until they were at a scene where James Gunn decided to change the script on the fly, and he was like, "I actually think Peacemaker would cry in this scene." And so, he gave John Cena a minute, and then they went action, and then he just started crying. And James Gunn was like, "Wow, he's actually like." Not to sound mean to John Cena, but James Gunn's reaction was like, he's actually becoming a real actor.
Yeah.
I think John Cena. Look, the reputation used to be deserved. Right?
You mean the Marine? What was that?
Yeah, the Marine.
The
But he's
WWE
made-
movies.
He's
Yeah.
made a few good movies recently. What was the one where he played like the comedian guy?
Ricky Stenicki.
Ricky Stenicki. He was good in that movie.
I mean, I haven't seen it. Like, he's always been a good comedic actor.
but like he was straight up good in that movie.
Yeah, but whether he can, maybe do some Peacemaker, he's
Yeah.
mostly being funny. But like, there are more.
Like again, we haven't seen him in
darker
like a dramatic role.
Yeah, he's not
But
gone
he's-
full.
No, but
But he has potential.
He has potential.
Oh.
He's doing better.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, he can cry on demand if the scene requires it. So, sorry, James.
Yeah. No, that's all right. I didn't have much to say. Just that because as someone who hated the DCEU when it was on, the Snyderverse-esque garbage, and then James Gunn did The Suicide Squad, which was pretty good.
Yeah.
And I rewatched it, and it's actually, I like it. It's a fun movie.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, and I was like, that was like the one other. Maybe Shazam was okay as well.
Yeah.
And The Suicide
Yeah.
Squad.
But that was like even then that was like a separate.
Yeah.
There was a disconnection.
And The
And
Suicide
isn't the
Squad.
dude in Shazam a bit problematic too now?
Now,
Zachary
now he's
Levi,
gone
yeah.
off.
Yeah, yeah.
Zachary Levi's gone off the deep end. He's gone full MAGA. He's such an idiot. Anyway, so good on him for ruining any chance of probably ever doing anything, ever
Yeah,
again.
he's joining the Kevin Sorbo club and being like, I'm not allowed in Hollywood anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not because I'm an awful person. It's because of woke.
That's it.
Um,
I'm still making movies for like those
for the
weird
Christian-
those
the
really weird.
Daily Wire, is that what they're called?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The weird right wing. Anyway,
And all the movies are basically the same about how God is actually the real deal,
Yeah.
and he brings the person out of their vices.
yeah.
and that's pretty much the only movie these companies make. That and like there's a whole series of Rapture movies. Have you seen those?
They sound interesting.
No,
There's a whole series of films made by these companies where the Rapture happens, and then it's like about the survivors.
I know they exist. I haven't seen. Yeah,
I haven't
know,
seen.
yeah,
I've watched a little bit of one of them, and it's like, unfortunately, it could be examined better, but because they're made by these kind of really right wing Christian companies, it's all kind of just like, look at all the suffering the sinners go through.
Yeah,
and, like,
and it's like they're not worried about making an actual good movie. It's like they're worried about making a piece of propaganda because Jesus.
But anyway, back to
what we were talking about, Peacemaker.
James Gunn. Yeah,
James Gunn. The original DCEU was awful. James Gunn, getting fired from Marvel and then doing The Suicide Squad,
probably a blessing in
which
disguise.
ended up being best thing to happen for DC. He made The Suicide Squad, which was actually pretty good, but it was kind of like in that weird thing of like it's not really a reboot. It was like kind of still part of the old universe, and then the Peacemaker, season 1 came out. And again, it was like its own thing, but it was, again, still technically connected to the old DCEU. And it was like, And then there was whole...
They updated it, the ending of
season
season 1.
Did. And then there was the whole shake-up where James Gunn actually took over DCU.
And he drew the hard lines and was like...
Yeah, and he made...
He drew a line
and
took
said,
over this
DC. Not just the cinema. He runs DC.
Not the comic book section.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Really?
He's like the president or CEO or whatever of Detective Comics.
No, I thought he was like him and Peter. What's his name? Are like the two creative heads.
Jamie, look it up.
I'll look it up. Let's see.
Anyway, he took over, and he made Creature Commandos, which is an animated series.
He's the co-chairman and co-CEO of DC Studios.
Yeah, Studios is
my
what
mistake.
They make the movies and
TV
shows.
I thought he ran DC.
I'm sure he has a direct, like a bat phone, the gun phone.
Yeah, he probably still would have.
Because he's an actual. We talked about this when the whole news came about. Like he's an actual comic book
guy. Yeah,
he like knows his stuff, which is why he has so many.
And which is why the Superman movie was so good.
And why all his, like why Guardians, like why there are so many of these characters who people aren't really familiar, mainstream audiences aren't familiar with, that he's like, oh, this guy is actually from
and he can interpret them in a way that is like feels current and fresh. Yeah. So anyway,
James Gunn took over. He made Creature Commandos, which is an animated series which takes place in the actual new DCU and is connected to Peacemaker and Suicide Squad and all that. And then he made Superman, which has same characters again, and had a cameo from Peacemaker, small cameo in Superman. And now Peacemaker season 2's come out and has like retconned season 1 into the new DCU. And it's a good show. Like even if you didn't like Superman or even if you sort of are like me and are like very skeptical about, like, I think Peacemaker is definitely worth watching. And it's also unlike the MCU where the shows and the movies just kind of blend together and it's just like, what are we even doing here? Peacemaker is actually its own show, and it's violent and there's lots of swearing and nudity, and it's like it's HBO Max.
Yeah.
But it's like a real HBO show. And then obviously when Peacemaker rocks up in Superman, it's not going to be the same levels of crazy violence. And
it'll be like Deadpool. How Deadpool was before they put him into the MCU.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of... But now that it's the same thing, it still feels a little bit different. Which is what when James Gunn took over, we were kind of like, oh, I hope he does that, where it's like you can have an R-rated movie and then a PG-13 movie, and then
they could use him in a funny way though, where if he's in a movie and the rest of it's kind of PG, they can use their one F-bomb with Peacemaker, so it doesn't break character. It feels like it still feels
Superman being like language.
They could do funny stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like Superman and Peacemaker just kind of knock heads a bit because obviously.
Yeah, that would work. Yeah. Well, I mean, MCU had its first F-bomb in Guardians.
James Gunn movie, yeah.
I thought there was one in Iron Man 3. I remember we talked about this, but I can't remember. Anyway. But yeah, so Peacemaker, definitely worth watching. James Gunn is still... Even though I had problems with Superman and I didn't like it as much as you guys, I think he's still the best.
That's some homophobic words there.
No, I like the hope. The hope is good.
Yeah.
We need that hope.
Yeah,
I need that hope.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, have you looked outside? I just mean he's like sort of...
He's the best of
the
them.
guy I trust. Remember when remember when we were talking about the MCU and Kevin Feige? He's the guy. He has this encyclopedic knowledge. He knows what he's doing. He has all the movies planned out.
But the mouse wore the man
and then
down.
It's just after all these years.
I see. The thing is, I don't blame Kevin Feige. I blame the company. I blame Disney as a corporation.
I think also it's a bit of both. At a certain point, it's like we thought he knew what he was doing, and after a while, it's just. But the capitalistic machine. But James Gunn, so far. Still early days.
I mean, it helps that he's like the one who wants to make the movies and has experience making films, and he's also the one making the decisions.
He also
so that helps.
He's also very comfortable delaying a film if he thinks it's not ready. Yeah. Whereas like where Marvel, they've got a bad track record of canceling films soon at this point. But like they'll just rush a film.
Yeah.
They'll put it on their schedule. Yeah, they'll put it on their schedule years in advance, and then even though they haven't finished it, they'll just be like, and they haven't got a script or anything. Yeah. They'll just be like, here.
Well, Doomsday or whatever. What's that? The new movie coming out.
Oh yeah, the one with Doctor Doom.
They're filming that like without a script. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I'm throwing up my hands in there. Yeah. I don't like. Yeah.
James Gunn, hopefully, I mean, eventually the DCU will probably turn into that. But at the moment, we're still early days. And, Creature Commandos was fun, and Peacemaker is good, and Superman was okay. So, I'm looking forward to Supergirl. I think they've already shot Supergirl, right?
I think so.
It's coming out. Yeah. Is it coming out next year?
I think so, but it's early next year too. So it's in the first quarter.
Anyway.
Yeah. I have 2 new movies as well. They're both pretty crap. Would you like to hear Locked or Night of the Reaper?
Night of the Reaper.
Oh, I was going to say Locked. But
I got there first.
I'll do quick. We'll go quickly into both. So Locked, we'll start with Locked. Stars Anthony Hopkins and It Man. What's his name?
Bill Skarsgård.
Bill Skarsgård.
Yeah, I always said If Man. I was like Donnie Yen.
That'd be a different movie.
That'd be a better movie. Kung Fu in a car.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I want that movie instead.
Hollywood, send us a check.
Yeah, so in this movie,
I saw the trailer for this, and I was like, It looks like a streaming movie, but it actually came out to the movies. And
it should have just been a streaming movie. Eddie Skarsgård plays Eddie, like a petty thief, kind of, in some debts to some local gangsters. Goes to break into a luxury SUV so he can, I guess, sell it for parts and whatnot, and recoup his, his van that they're sort of holding on until he pays his debts back, blah, 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 blah. But it's a car been set up as like a booby trap device by Anthony Hopkins, who plays William, and it's basically just like...
Saw in a car.
Yeah, exactly, but with no teeth, really.
Yeah.
So it's very kind of predictable.
PG-13.
Yeah, it's very... Oh, no, there's a fair bit of blood and violence,
okay.
but it's just very predictable.
Yeah, he's like...
I could be like, all right, James... Give me the plot.
Yeah.
Like, I've given you the synopsis.
That's why when I saw the trailer, I was like, okay.
You've seen this movie before. I could give you a piece of paper, and I could be like, write down how you think this movie's going to play out, and you would probably get it 90% right. Yeah. So that's all I have to say. That is the movie. It's kind of just like, you've seen it before. It's a dude in a car, held hostage.
Gets trapped, yeah.
It is what it is. We've been there, done that.
And Anthony Hopkins is like controlling the car, and he's like, I'm going to punish you for trying to steal my car thing. And he locks him in there.
Yeah. And that's basically it. Night of the Reaper is more interesting because everybody's hyping this movie up, and it's like a Shudder exclusive. So I watched this film because it has a really good reputation.
What's it about?
It's the tagline synopsis on Letterboxd is just nothing is as it seems. But basically, it starts strong. It starts with like kind of like snuff it's set in the 80s. Yep. It starts with like snuff VHSs being mailed to people, and there's like murders on these VHSs, and it's like a cool kind of thriller mystery, horror mystery. And it's kind of like, where's the killer going to strike next? And then it kind of just falls apart, and it has some good atmosphere and tension, but it's boring. And once you take that tension and atmosphere away, nothing really happens.
Yeah, I remember seeing the trailer for this as well, and it definitely looked like a sort of straight to streaming kind of movie. But it did have an extra element of like, it's more like the detective, like there's the clues, and like he's...
Yeah.
It's like the cat and mouse, like he has to chase the killer or whatever. Like it's not just a straight up
Yeah,
slasher
it's
or
like
anything.
it's like a babysitter kind of killer, and you have to, like, who's next? You got to stop the murders and all this kind of stuff. And it starts really cool with a whole kind of VHS kind of like horror angle, and then it kind of just goes nowhere.
Yeah.
And then they do some, twists and turns.
How long was it?
Oh, like
It's an
just
hour
over
and
90
33
minutes?
minutes.
Yeah.
It says here.
it's not.
You can do a
yeah.
lot in 90 minutes. You know what I mean? If you've only got a short runtime, use it. Why is a 90-minute
Well,
film boring?
Yeah, I mean it's just pacing, I guess, and maybe they had
Not to
one
bring
cool idea, and then like now we have to
Not to
stretch
bring it
out
back
or-
to one battle after another, but that movie is close to 3 hours. That baby barrels along.
Yeah, but again, these two movies I saw, do not watch, or watch streaming when there's literally nothing else to
Yeah.
watch. I found Night of the Reaper boring,
Mm.
and I was playing on my
Shudder's,
phone half the time because there was nothing going on in the film.
Got to take the good with the bad.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, Shudder's. There's some good stuff on there, but they have so much stuff.
Shudder's
coming
a
out.
double-edged sword because we talk about this on the show. Shudder is needed, and Shudder is valuable, and Shudder is loved.
Yeah.
But-
What was that sick film we saw that had it was about the South American one? The
Yeah.
Dark and the Wicked?
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Or is it When Evil Comes or something?
Yeah, where evil
lurks. That
Yeah.
movie is sick.
Shudder's
That was sick. And they're making a second one apparently.
Shudder's important,
Yeah.
but as James said, sometimes you get these cream of the crop movies, but then on the other side of that coin, you
Yeah.
also get the shit.
But yeah,
Yeah.
we
And-
did talk about it, and we'll talk about it more because it's almost Spooktober. But we did talk about how it's like cool to have a streaming service dedicated to,
And they finance a
Horror.
lot of horror.
and and they're making a lot of movies that otherwise wouldn't get made.
You ever subscribe to Full Moon Pictures streaming service?
No, but I've been on there because
They got
when
some.
you logged
They
on-
got that's like the extreme example where it's like they have some really great movies, but then
Yeah.
they have some real
That's the
bad
lower.
stinkers.
That's the
Yeah.
lower end of.
That's like
the-
C grade movies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's the very low, low budget.
I watched. I caught up to date, I should say, with The Lincoln Lawyer on Netflix. Liked it. The
It is-
third season, the first season's really, really great.
If
The
you
second season is also really good, but not as good as the first. But the third season kind of gets a little tiring towards the middle, but then picks up towards the end.
I think, James, if you want some real good streaming blue balls, you should catch up on the Lincoln Lawyer before the new season starts.
Yeah, I was like, they
Because
ended
it ends on like a
a
really
massive
juicy-
cliffhanger.
Yeah.
I just looked it up, and it says season 4 is supposed to drop on October 16th, which is like
Ooh.
Oh wow,
3 weeks
Ooh.
away.
nice.
So
Get on it.
Look,
I probably won't.
it's
probably
about
won't.
it's-
but
no,
yeah,
it's-
it's
I
about
remember-
27, 30 episodes or something like that.
Yeah, I remember Nathan and Alan had watched it and were like talking about it. So
It is a good show.
It's a good because I've never read the books. I never saw the Matthew McConaughey film.
I like the movie.
That's a good movie.
I haven't seen it in a while. but I
The
remember
TV
liking
show
it.
is a good mixture of courtroom intrigue and on the foot detective work, and then plus you have the personal life drama, the social drama as well. But it does tend to balance these things really well, so you get a good payoff of all of these different things across the season.
Yeah.
So that's why I like it. It's not the best TV show I've ever seen, but it's also something that I can say, you know what, it might not be Netflix's finest, but it's good enough and it's shot well enough that I'll keep coming back as long as they're making it. And you could rewatch it down the line in a few years.
Yeah.
So it's I guess it's one of their money makers in that regard, where it's like
Well,
we don't have to
hopefully-
spend $100 billion on it.
Yeah.
But it's good enough that people will want to subscribe. Like if my subscription had lapsed and I saw there was a new season, I'd pay my 15 or however much it is to watch the new season.
I mean, hopefully because Netflix, I mean, they don't actually cancel it, but
Nah, I think The Lincoln Lawyer quietly is Netflix.
I mean,
one of
it's
Netflix's
gone-
biggest.
It was on-
performing
it was
shows.
gone
in-
on this long.
it was in their top 5 or whatever for 17 weeks.
Yeah, it's actually
Um,
one of Netflix's biggest shows.
And
Quietly.
also, the only reason the Dark Crystal got cancelled was because they hate us specifically.
Yeah,
So-
probably.
That's it.
They don't, so they don't
we
cancel
called
that
out
much,
Ted
I don't
Sarandos on
think.
his
No,
shit one
they
too many
cancel a
times.
lot. That was the whole joke. Was that
Yeah,
it used to be Netflix you
You
greenlit,
greenlit,
and
yeah.
then it was Netflix you cancelled.
Yeah.
Like that was the whole thing. Is just,
But yeah, I recommend it.
yeah. I'll
Yeah.
add it to the ever increasing list of things.
They
I'm
changed
never
the
gonna-
ethnicity of the lawyer to South American.
Yeah, but it works with the
it
show.
works really well in the context because it adds an extra flavor of the like when he speaks in Spanish, and it also his connection to the other characters. Like there's some South American characters in the story. I don't know if they're South American in the books, but it adds that extra layer of dynamic between some of the characters and the villains and whatnot, where he can speak their language and there's like a mutual
they
understanding.
they altered characters for the show, but they also altered the rest of the material to suit that.
So it works.
So it does.
yeah.
It's not like contrasting.
It's one of the things where, as far as my mum's concerned, he's the Lincoln lawyer. So it's like
she sees him in other movies, and she's like, "That's the Lincoln lawyer."
Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
So it's like
Yeah.
he's not. It's Matthew McConaughey is no longer the Lincoln lawyer. It's this guy.
Yeah.
I don't know his name off the top of my head.
What's his name?
But so
oh
yeah,
no,
Hang on.
it works really well in that regard. Like Netflix are kind of infamous at this point for their
Manuel Garcia Rolfo.
yeah,
That's-
and
that's the
also
actor.
his acting is just top notch.
Mickey Haller is
Mickey
the
Haller.
character.
That's his
Yeah.
name. Yeah, good on
His
Mickey
acting
Haller.
is top notch. He knocks it out of the park every episode.
Yeah.
Like Netflix is infamous for their race swapping at this point, but this is an example of how to do it well
It also has one of the goats in the cast.
and how to do it.
Oh, Angus Sampson's in it.
Yeah,
Yeah, and
he plays the detective, I think.
And what's his name? One of the greatest actors of all time.
Elliot Gould.
Elliot Gould's in it.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he plays an older advisor called
Yeah.
Legal. Cool.
Elliot Gould plays like
His
Mickey
dad's
Haller's
partner.
dad's like best friend.
Yeah.
And Mickey
Legal
he's like
partner.
he's like the consigliere kind of figure.
Oh, it's got Holt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
McElhaney.
He's
but-
good in that too.
But yeah, the writing, I mean, obviously because it's adapted from a source material, you can, you don't have to do all the work yourself in terms of the conceptualizing. But the writing is also some of the best I've seen in a Netflix original.
It also helps. It's based on a series of books, but each season is one specific book,
Oh, okay.
and they all run into the next book. So they're in mostly consecutive order of release.
yeah.
So they're actually just like they have a plan. It's
So,
kind of
yeah.
just like each season is a book, and it leads into the next season,
Contains
which is the
story.
next book,
Yeah.
and so
It's like a slow horses kind of thing.
yeah, exactly,
Yeah,
and
adapt one season equals one book.
yeah, exactly right. And speaking of slow horses, yeah, it's back.
Yeah.
Also, the next season is apparently also the best book in the series.
Slow horses.
No, the
Lincoln
Lawyer.
Lawyer.
Yeah, so that's exciting because people are saying that the next season is meant to be like it's the best book.
Okay.
So hopefully it'll be the best season of the show.
Well, like I said, like the acting across the board is really good in this show. All the supporting cast are great. Mickey's great. I have a goldfish memory. But yeah, it's just like there's so many lovable characters that I'm like, I watch it and I'm like, I just, you can watch like 5 episodes a day. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where you can just put it on and then just like, okay, tonight I'm doing Lincoln Lawyer.
I looked it up and apparently there's 8 books in the series and they're only
Okay.
up to season 4 of the show. So I don't know if they'll get through all of them.
Well, look, hopefully they will because it's Netflix's one of their biggest performing shows. Like the mums do numbers for this show. You know what I mean? Like it's the quiet. It's
It's
what
a good
It's
for
not
the
the-
mums and dads and for the
yeah, it's not like the Cinephiles show,
yeah.
but it's like your mums will watch it and
Yeah.
they're the ones paying the bills.
It's a
You know what I
good-
mean?
yeah,
It's
yeah,
like
yeah.
it's they're in charge of the accounts.
Look at what they've done with Stranger Things. They pushed that so far, and
That when that comes out, we'll have to do like a whole roundup of like TV has gotten ridiculous now.
Yeah.
Like almost 10 years since the first season came out.
yeah, I know.
and they're going to be playing like 17-year-olds and we're like 25, 26 and we're like it's back
They're
in the
all like-
90s. Yeah, 30-year-olds
yeah.
playing teenagers.
What's her face got married and had a kid?
Yeah.
I'm like,
11,
"Jeez."
yeah.
Yeah. And I'm just like,
With John Bon Jovi's son.
and
Yeah.
it's like this was not worth 10 years
Yeah.
of like and
At least for Lincoln Lawyer, one thing it has going for it is like they've already got all the sets. They have all the stuff.
well because it's not a fantasy or
Yeah,
sci-fi
yeah.
like
It's
yeah,
a little
not
easier
like-
to film. I'm
Yeah,
presuming they don't have to spend like the first season would have cost bank, but then I guess you've already got a lot of the same costumes, a lot
Yeah.
of the same sets, a lot of the same,
It's why like a lot of procedural shows like NCIS or
Do quite well, yeah.
Law and Order go forever, and then they do well because it's like they have familiar, like and they're good for the old people and they're good for the younger
Yeah.
people and
Yeah. Almost out of time for tonight, everyone.
yeah. We did have some special guests, but unfortunately,
That's
Another
going to
time.
get delayed because of traffic issues.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, these things happen. They will come back.
hmm
And,
definitely.
we'll talk to them after the PAX
Yeah,
kind of
around then.
episodes.
Keep an eye on social media.
Keep an eye on socials. We'll be flogging it again.
Mhm.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Please subscribe to our YouTube. We're up to 98 subscribers as of this recording.
When we get to 99, I'll subscribe.
You're such a. I got so mad when Callum was like, "Oh, I haven't subscribed yet." I'm like,
I'll push us over the line. Don't you worry.
And then Alan will unsubscribe.
"Yeah, you would just to spite us."
Um,
Yeah, we're trying to get to 100 subscribers on YouTube before the end of the year, so just subscribe. You don't have to watch anything. You don't have to.
but it's worth it. If you listen to the podcast, you should,
we
you don't have to re-listen to the episodes, but keep an eye on the special content.
Yeah,
that
we
comes
also
through.
have exclusive content, video content, and especially with PAX coming up, we'll have interviews and videos up on there. So definitely check it out.
Yeah. You can listen on all the podcast platforms, Spotify, Apple Music.
Give us a
we're on
5-star
YouTube
review.
as well. On the socials at Tuesday Review AU, on mostly Blue Sky, Newsmast, Instagram, Facebook, and Threads, because Threads has started auto-posting when I post on Instagram.
Oh, that's
so
good.
that kind of helps us out too.
Yep.
Hit us up on Instagram. That's probably where we're most active. You can see all my shit posts.
Yeah, Nathan's doing a big meme campaign.
Yeah, a big meme
Reposting
campaign.
of
Well, look, I just
movie
think
memes.
I find these things interesting, and if you like the show and you like us, then you will probably find these things interesting too. So it's a bit of fun.
It's good. It's a lot of. I've found a lot of things through pages I follow. So I mean, that's the whole point, I guess.
Yeah.
Of follow us, and then you can see what we're sort of.
Yeah. Like at the moment, there's a lot of Twin Peaks posting, which also
ties into
what we got going on with Ross.
Maybe I'll replug that. So Ross's show is in October the 7th to the 12th. Yes, October the 7th to the 12th.
I think we're seeing it on the 9th. Come and say hi.
Yeah, so Ross Purdy performs at the Black Lodge,
Yes.
one night only for 25 years.
Although
Get tickets to that.
We haven't got tickets yet, so hopefully it doesn't sell out. But we'll be fine.
No, we'll be all right. And then
He'll get us We're with the radio. Let us in. Oh my god. Callum's like, no.
Do you know who I am?
Do you know who we are?
And then Residents screening at Cinema Nova this Sunday, October 5th.
Yep, at
2:15 p.m. when a Q&A after. And PAX is next week as well. So yeah, keep an eye on our social media.
Busy time of year.
Yeah. It's all going off. And it's Spooktober tomorrow. Tomorrow it starts Spooktober.
Yay.
So lots of horror movies coming up.
That's what we got for tonight. Thanks for listening, everyone. We're on Letterboxd. I'm Nathan B_90.
I am channeldrifter.
And I'm Callum Tuesday.
And again, thanks for listening, everyone. We'll be back next week. Adios, cousins.